Do you get bored being in LA doing this, or do you still really enjoy the experience?
There hasn't been a day in my career, 15 years going, that I've gone, it just sucks for a living that I get paid to have sex with professional fuckers. I mean, how can that job suck?
Every once in a while, a young child's dream comes true, and it's finally happening. On Tuesday, I was asked on Barstool who my dream guest is. I said Brandi Love. 3 days later, well, I guess a week later if we're taping it, who am I talking to right now? Brandi, dreams. This is like Make-A-Wish for podcasters. This is unbelievable. This is actually happening.
Okay, now you're making me nervous. I'd hate to fail you.
What's going on? How you do? So we talked for a second before, and you said basically what you told me was you got absolutely shit-faced and you're completely hungover right now, right? Basically, is that it?
Well, that sounds a lot more fun. I'm totally not hungover because when I drink tequila, I bounce back super fast. I'm a professional tequila drinker, but it was a little bit rowdier evening than we anticipated because it was an arts charity event. So, sometimes you got to throw a curveball and make it a little more fun than it actually was.
What is your? I'm 5 million things I'm fascinated about with your life. Because I follow you on Twitter. You're an awesome follow. So what is your basic schedule with job versus life? Like when we were messaging back and forth with the show to do the stuff, you said you have to go to LA to do stuff. Do you just go out, shoot like a bunch of stuff back to back, then take a bunch of time off and do it again, or what's like a basic Brandi Love month like, for example?
Well, it's always interesting, and I enjoy that. We have two different companies. One is in the real estate side of things, and then, of course, the adult company. And within the adult company, it's so multifaceted, which keeps things very, very exciting. We have the cam, live camming. We're always shooting content for my own stuff on Pornhub, and then there's LA. And through the years, because of starting new companies and what you called life, that thing that we try to balance. Right. I go out to LA only 3 times a year now, and I go for about 3 weeks. And when I'm there for those 3 weeks, it is I can swear, right?
You can, yes, you can say whatever you want.
Okay, it's truly a fuckathon. I mean, it is like I shoot every single day. I might take a day off every 8 to 9 days. And then I come home and go back to work doing the other things and enjoying my family and quote-unquote normal life. So through the years, it's worked out to be a really great schedule of balancing adult life and normal life.
In the middle of that fuckathon, is there any point where you're like, I just want to go back to, I just want to go back east. I want to go back to the house. I just want to, look at this, just enjoy my, is there a point, are you at the point in your career where you're sort of like, I am sick of this shit. I am sick of fucking these random guys who I don't really know, and it's kind of weird. Are you? Because I mean, look, I'm going to say it right now. I've said this before. I'm going to tell you right now. You're the Meryl Streep of porn. You're better than Meryl Streep. You're better. Meryl Streep could never do a stepdaughter scene like you. Forget I said that. You are the greatest. I am saying this to you. Listen to me right now, Brandi. Okay, listen to me. Because I don't know if you ever heard this before. You're the greatest actress who has ever lived. Ever. Understand what I'm saying?
You're killing me right now. My cheeks hurt, and I'm dying.
It's a fact. And by the way, Meryl Streep also gave Roman Polanski a standing ovation at the Academy Awards, so she's an asshole. So forget her. You are.
Let's not compare those.
Correct. I can't think of an acting. Your stepdaughter scenes are the greatest acting in film, and your intros to these scenes are what you do best. That's what you do. The way you. I mean, the sex is great, but the way you tell the story before, the best ever. You're the best ever at it.
Well, see, I appreciate the fact that you actually might be one of the, 8% of people in the entire United States that watch porn. How about the world that actually give a shit about the beginning of the story? I am hearing more and more.
Thank you.
That people care about the story.
Yes,
it makes
of course.
it hotter. It's the foreplay, right?
Well, I can't. So when I scroll through, if I'm on wherever, right? So let's say that I'm looking for a scene, and the minute I click on it, it's straight fucking right away. I feel like I've jumped into some weird thing that is not like I need. You know what? I'll say it. I need to be romanced a little bit. Like your scene, like the scene where you had with the where you're I forget the name of the world. I think it's called Blacked or something. Is that right? That's that. So it's your sister in the scene, right? Is you're talking at the beginning. You're in your room. You're putting on your outfit. Awesome. You look unbelievable. Fantastic. And then the sister goes to the mall, which is a bad move on her part, I have to say, in retrospect.
Yeah, she shouldn't have left me alone.
The sisters and the wives and the girl, why are they always so dumb in these scenes? They're totally irrelevant.
It makes things easier.
I guess so. That's true. But boom, right away, honestly, the best storytelling ever. Dickens himself, if he got out of his grave, could not write a scene like that. I'm not even kidding. I love it. But the point is, my question was anyway, do you get bored doing it? A long way of saying, do you get bored being in LA doing this, or do you still really enjoy the experience?
No, I honest to God, I will always miss home. I don't love to travel because I love my family. I love my friends.
Sure.
I absolutely enjoy where I live. And I'm an East Coast girl. So heading out west is, I figured out my places to hike, and I've got my handful of friends there that I really enjoy. 4 or 5 days in, I'm missing home, but I don't hate what I do. There hasn't been a day in my career, 15 years going, that I've gone, God dang, this sucks. It just sucks for a living that I get paid to have sex with professional fuckers. I mean, how can that job suck? So for me, people judge. I take my ridicule. I take shit every single day. And I've learned to smile and go, yeah, I know my life is better than yours. So judge on if it makes you feel better.
Well, certainly on Twitter, you're not afraid to tell somebody to go fuck themselves, which I appreciate.
Well,
I'm going to guess. I think it's great. And I'm going to guess you have received more penis pictures than any living person. It's just a guess. No?
There might be a few out there that have received more because I do make it very clear.
Well, that's what I mean. Fuck off, basically.
My fuck club rules. So when you break a rule, I simply, half the time, if I start to open the picture, you're gone. I delete you. Now, people say that comes with the territory. You're a porn star, for God's sake. You should know you're going to get dick pics. Well, touche, absolutely. But there's a time and a place. My private Snapchat, you can send jerk off pictures. I don't care.
All
That's
right.
awesome. Just, I don't find the public forum the place to show everybody how small your penis is, or how unattractive your penis is, or maybe how grotesquely large it is. It's just, for me, I made those rules because it just seems like the wrong place. You know what I'm saying?
I certainly do. But I you know what bothered me the most, I think, honestly, is
What?
if I had to do a scene, I had to kiss a smoker. I hate smokers. That to me would be
Would bother you the
yeah,
most?
I think it might. Like, do you ever have to deal
That's
with...
the one thing.
I think so. I think I'd almost rather blow a guy than have a guy who's smoking kiss me on.
fair.
I hate it. Have you ever dealt with somebody who's just got, BO, awful breath, anything like that, or no?
Well, it's interesting, again, because I work in the realm of the adult industry.
Right.
We are all professionals.
True.
People really go to great lengths to be, smell great. Everybody's got their mouthwash. I mean, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
There are those people from time to time that are, let's call them new, and
Right.
maybe they don't have parents that taught them hygiene or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've more than once had to take them to the side and, in the most polite and maternal way, explain certain things. But I swear to God, in 15 years, it's happened once.
That's not so bad.
It's not bad at all, number one. And number two, smokers, I don't know a single smoker, if we're talking about nicotine
Right.
in LA.
Yeah, everyone
Everyone
now.
smokes weed.
Right, yeah, true.
And honestly, it doesn't bother me, but I'm not a smoker at all. I don't smoke anything. So even with that, though, they're right in there with their mouthwash and chewing gum. So people are pretty conscientious of one another.
How long is so? Let's say you do like a scene I'm watching. Let's say any basic scene that you do. How long from beginning to end does that scene take? Is it a day? Is it 12 hours? Is it just one take? I mean, how does it? Obviously, there's different camera angles. How does that?
Oh yeah, sure. It's a great question. I think most people are curious about it, and it's bizarre. There's no magic number. I mean, vignettes, which are like just the scene that's thrown up on Pornhub or
Right.
any website, those can take anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. 4 is the least I've ever been on set, and 16 is the longest I've ever been on set.
Oh God.
16's outrageous because those are for features where the producer will want every single scene, all the different actors to be there, and you'll get there at 8 a.m. and then your scene's at 9 p.m. So you sit around all day. It's very annoying. That's why I really don't shoot features, because it's a waste of precious time, in my opinion. So most, honest to God, most are a normal day, 9 to 5. You can plan on being set from 9 to 5.
You're smart too, though. It seems like you've figured out that the business has just changed fast, and you need to take control of your own property. Like the stuff you're talking about, filming your own stuff, getting your own channel. Like you just can't be obviously what it was 15, 20 years ago. I find that the business is so interesting now because you can get so much of it online. I mean, I'm sure nobody, statistically, right? Nobody buys them anymore, right?
Well, believe it or not, there is still. This is what this is what I love about the last great generation.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna miss them. They still do buy porn. I mean, they still they like to have in their hand the DVD. They like the covers, and some of the people who used to literally buy the VHSs are now buying the DVDs. They believe in supporting. Let's call it the arts. You can laugh, but they believe in supporting their favorite actors and actresses and things like even Pornhub. Okay, so everyone knows you can go to Pornhub and get free content.
Right.
But even Pornhub has gotten to, they're reaching out. They're getting content from the content providers, meaning myself and others, as well as what they've basically brought in together. And you support me. Well, Kirk can go on there, type in Brandi Love, find my profile, decide to join my fan club, which is not pro content, but it's my content that you can only get exclusively at Pornhub. It's cheap, $12, $15, $20, whatever. And that's where, so you can choose to support us. Now I understand, and I know I'm going to piss off a bunch of people, but anybody under 35 is like, why the fuck would I pay for it? It's there for me. Fine. Well, there's stuff there for you too, but we're trying to continue to support the adult industry in the few ways that we can, because honestly, it could go away. It really could, because it costs a ton of money. These producers out in LA, it can cost $10,000-$15,000 to produce a 32-minute video.
Do you shoot all these? That's the private stuff. You actually shoot that in your actual home?
The stuff that I shoot?
Yeah. What do you have?
Well, I have a studio.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So now I can, that we're empty nesters, which is a whole nother story. But we never have shot in our homes. It's always been at a studio.
Sure.
And we like to do roadhead videos, and those are wherever we happen to be, out in the woods. I mean, the world is our oyster when it comes to shooting content.
Right. It's got to be strange being Brandi Love, though. Just it's different than being any other celebrity. And the guys, you talk to guys all the time who like masturbate to you all the time. Like you're talking to two of them right now. But I mean, like, so
hi guys.
Hello. But I mean, it's got to be strange. Like it's just, and people are looking at you, and there's also this weird thing where I'm sure some people don't want to come up and talk to you. There's also a stigma sort of weirdly attached as well. It's just a fascinating, and you're also, by the way, kind of Brandi Love, but you're not Brandi Love, right? Too? You know what I mean? So there's sort of, I mean, you're not, when you go to see a movie with your husband or whatever with your buddies, you're not Brandi Love. You know what I mean? So there's this weird, there must be a strange existence in some ways.
But at the same time, I actually always am. And I totally respect what you're saying. And thank you for saying it, because you get that. But you also have to understand that most don't, right?
That's got to be kind of scary, though, at the same time, too, I would think, no?
Well, I wouldn't use the word scary, but what it does force you to be on your A game at all times,
Right.
You think you're under the radar and you look like shit, you got a ball cap on and you're just wanting to go get your coffee, and 4 people grab you and they're like, oh my God, can we please do a Snapchat? Can we please take a photo? And I'm not going to be a dick and say no. I mean, if it weren't for them knowing who I am, I wouldn't have the awesome career that I have. So you learn very quickly to just suck it up. This goes with the territory. You're naive to think that your privacy is available because it becomes extremely limited. But that's okay. I mean, I knew what I signed up for. Of course, there's those moments, and, and barstools may not remember, but you have those moments of limitations that are thrown in your face, like taking your child to orientation for college.
Right.
Those moments that you wish so desperately could stay true to yourself and your family, those are gone. And it took me a moment when I saw that posted. It took me a moment and I went, oh, because I'm very protective, of course. What parent isn't?
Of course.
Luckily for me, mine's exceptionally smart, and she thrives in a unique situation of having the parents that she has. And she's earned herself a way into a Big 10 school. I mean, Big 12, both. She got into schools I could have never gotten into.
Right.
And, it would have been so nice because the school really did welcome her. I mean, they know exactly who she is, and they welcomed her. She wrote an incredible essay on who she is. You know, come up and say hi. Welcome us to the family. Sit down and have a normal conversation. That would have been so classy. But instead, and I understand they're young, but to snap a picture, to put up for trolls to make inappropriate comments, when that's supposed to be such a great moment,
Yeah, no, evolving. Anytime, as I said, anytime you evolve kids, a dick move. It's just, there's
that's
no,
a great way
it's
to
just a
say
dick
it.
move. There's no upside to it.
And it's not unexpected, Kirk. It's not unexpected.
No, I get
it. Just kind of, those are when you put your head down and you go, humanity sucks.
Right. True. Is there?
And then there's those other moments where people do something so fabulous, and you're like, oh, I still have faith. People are good. They're decent.
This is. By the way, I have a sidekick, not quite a co-host. So he'd like to be. His name is Blind Mike.
Sidekick.
Blind Mike, who was
Hi, Brandi.
who is blind,
Hi,
legally
Mike.
blind, and I believe actually proved the old theory, Brandi. I think he actually went blind masturbating to you so many times you can actually go blind. Our parents always told us
definitely
this.
possible.
It happened. Yeah, he wanted to ask you something. So go ahead, Mike.
If that happened, I feel like I owe you something, Blind Mike.
There you go.
You were one of the first, my first regulars.
Really?
Oh yeah, big time.
God.
But
God.
how does your daughter deal with your profession?
With class and with grace, I'll be honest with you. I mean, she's had to deal with it since probably 7th, 8th grade, which was mind-blowing because we're a kid's parents I shouldn't say anything because I don't know when you guys started, but where are the parents that these kids are home typing away watching stuff that they know who people's parents are? Anyway, it came around 8th or 9th grade where we had the conversation because somebody had come up to her and said, hey, is your mom Brandi Love? And her comment back, she held her head up high and she said, that's my mom's business, none of yours. Literally. And as a little kid, I think that was a lot. And she's such a tender-hearted kid and so loving that she's not a fighter. And she came home, we had a long conversation, and she said, you know what, Mom and Dad, I don't care what you do. I love you guys. You're amazing. And if what you do makes you happy and you're successful, she said, then that's your business, not mine. And she has maintained that attitude. And when things happen, she just looks at them and says, that's none of my business. That's my parents' business, and walks away.
Well, I find it so interesting. Like there's this stigma now, and I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen with adult film and everything, where these feminists want to weigh in. To me, there's nothing more anti-feminist than giving somebody shit for being. It's a woman who's an adult woman making a clear choice who wants to make a living. I don't understand why anybody has an issue with that. It's always mystifying
because
to me.
it doesn't fit their agenda. Let's be clear about
Right,
that.
sure. No, I
Don't
get
even get me started.
You can fire away. I've never this sort of better than attitude. Well, it's like, this person wants to do it. She enjoys it. She makes a lot of money. She's smart. She's make sure she's safe. Like, who the fuck is getting hurt? And people are enjoying it. I've never understood it.
That's very, 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 I couldn't agree with you more. And those types of things, when everybody should have equal rights and everybody should have equal pay, and the feminists come out and they're pissed off about everything. And here I am, a strong, independent woman who made clear choices for myself and my family, and we're crushing it, and we're happy. And I've been married 25 amazing years and have really well-adjusted, brilliant, happy kids. Who the fuck are you to tell me that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing when you run around preaching about female empowerment? To me, it makes so opposite of the word sense. I can't even put my head around it.
Yeah, it's
and as you see on Twitter, I don't.
You do not. You do. Well, that's the other thing. So I mean, that's let's be honest. Like, so I'm not. There's stuff I like about Trump. There's stuff I don't like about Trump. But it's a scary time in America to even say, it's almost a hate crime to say you like Donald Trump. And I give you credit. Like, you don't fuck around. You're like, yep, I like this guy. He's my president. If you don't like him, fuck off. And you have to deal now, as we know, with real shit when you do that.
Oh God, yeah, I've had death threats. I mean, for real. And the thing that's so funny to me is at this point, in my years, I'm old enough to have seen several presidencies come and go. Mm-hmm. And the thing you're right. This time that we're living in is extremely bizarre. I just think that because for 30, 35, 40 years, the Hillary not getting in blew the heads off of everybody who thought that socialism was finally here. Right. I mean, they've been working at it for a really long time. and Trump just cut them off at the knees. So, of course, they're pissed off. The thing I don't understand, every presidency has its people who voted for the president and people who didn't. But as a country, we've always come together and gone, well, okay, he's our president. Rock and roll. Let's see what he's got. This one took it to another level. Everybody who didn't vote for him lost their freaking minds. And that is where I get on Twitter, I just lose it because it's like, I agree with Trump. You don't like this country? Get the fuck out. There's a bunch of other places you can go. No one's forcing you to stay here.